From the deepest, darkest recesses of Dangerous Nerds headquarters, Keith Moncrief and Gerry Kissel.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Pop Culture Minefield. That's Keith.
And that's Gerry.
And we're here to talk about some nerdy nerd stuff. And today we are going to be talking about an individual show that, you know, when Keith and I grow up, we want to be part of. We are friends with these guys and like them very much. And of course, we're talking about the folks over at Midnight's Edge. And I got to tell you, man, we're going to be doing a reaction to their Cavill in Bad Robot team up, and where is this going? So we got a little slideshow here of the two main guys, along with Zack Snyder, which is Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill. And so they did this episode today that was really good. It was Andre, as usual, talking about Henry Cavill being back and possibly even Ben Affleck in JJ or Bad Robot's Superman.
Yeah.
So let's get going on this, buddy.
I gotta say, ever since the deal was announced that J.J. Abrams would be going to Warner Brothers and basically being exclusive, everybody knew what he was actually aiming for, which is their DC properties. I have not been a fan of that prospect because of everything that he's done to Star Trek and Star Wars. There is no reason why those particular IP should be lying in ruins right now. Okay, so for my money, any discussion of JJ making a Superman film, at that point, it doesn't matter who you have in it. It's going to be a JJ movie. And I will say this, notice how you have not heard anything in relation to any of the other actors or actresses that were a part of the story of Man of Steel. So basically what you got is, if this happens, if this comes to pass and Cavill comes back to make a Superman movie with J.J. Abrams, Abrams is probably going to recast everyone else but Cavill. And he's going to put his own spin on the whole Superman thing. And it just makes me wonder which version of J.J. Abrams we're going to get. Are we going to get someone that's going to write something that's at least solid, entertaining all the way through? Or are we going to get the one that seems to show up a lot more nowadays, which is lots of interesting things to see, more predicated on emotion, but everything else falls flat. Logic, story, dialogue. That's the thing. And I cringe. And again,
it's the absolute downfall of the CW's DC universe.
Oh yeah.
It's just I tried to give Stargirl a chance. I watched the first episode. It was good, not great. It was good. And then episode 2 went downhill, and episode 3 I couldn't even finish. It was so bad. I'm done. I can't.
Stargirl in the Juice Box Justice League. So
just stupid. It was so stupid. But this is something that you and I have talked about before, because this is what I've said all along. J.J. Abrams isn't happy until he is able to shit on every intellectual property that has got a fan base. I think that's his goal, to make money off of it quickly and go. He's a weed. He's a Hollywood weed. And he goes and consumes. He's like the alien from Independence Day. Consume that planet and then move on to the next one. JJ, I used to have a lot of respect for that guy. I have no respect for that guy anymore. Garbage. People that work with him are garbage. I dread what he's going to do to the DC universe. I'm terrified of it. My hope is that AT&T pulls those reins in or fires him before he has a chance to do damage.
I don't know. I think they're looking to get some traction because of everything that's happened up to this point. the complete disintegration of the DCEU and the direction that they were headed, at least with Jeff Johns and John Berg's original idea of how to proceed post Justice League, which is post Snyder, and now the whole thing with HBO Max and what has happened to revive both the Snyder Cut of Justice League, but also to bring and allow Dwayne Johnson an opportunity to negotiate and talk about what he wants to do. And that really is your story at this point.
Because I personally believe he's more valuable than J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, well, Abrams has a limited contract. Okay, his is his 5-year contract, so it's about who do you want to do business with and who's going to mean more to you in the long term. Because you've got AT&T, you got Dwayne Johnson, and you got JJ, and you got to understand which one is actually going to bring more to this relationship, or is JJ willing to truly collaborate, and actually help to bring something that help to grow something that could actually do something.
Crossing my fingers that that's what's going to happen, but I believe that with the push that's been going on behind the scenes from The Rock and his wife, which is the agent for Henry Cavill as well, is why we're seeing what's happening with Henry Cavill, as well as with Zack Snyder. But with this deal coming out, and I believe a lot of this hinges on how much subscribership they get from putting the Zack Snyder Cut out, is going to determine the future if we're going to get to see another Ben Affleck as Batman. And I agree with Andre on this. Andre's assessment is that he's the best Batman, and I got to say I agree. Best Bruce Wayne and best Batman. So
he looks like he's been studying for this his entire life, and I think he has.
And he has been, because even he and Kevin Smith had a conversation about this years ago, that he was a perfect Bruce Wayne Batman. And he's got the square jaw, everything. And I got to tell you, my big concern was his voice. And when I heard him do that voice where he talks about phantoms in the second movie, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yes.
When he mentioned the voice he used to talk about phantoms got low register serious. And I'm like, yeah, he can play Batman. He can do it. He can pull it off. And he did.
And that's the thing. I mean, now that it's been reestablished, it seems like that the movie Robert Pattinson's the Batman is definitely going to be its own separate thing, which is what it was originally intended to be in the first place, kind of like Joker. There is an area there that you can conceive Ben Affleck coming back. And with what Andre talks about in this video about the possibility of a possible Batman series, television series, or at least some kind of an HBO Max event series, I think they should just I think they should use Affleck's script. I mean, almost
the
every
problem is, here's the problem with that. I believe there are elements that were borrowed from that in this new Pattinson film.
Yeah, and you know what? I think Affleck would be allowed to rewrite it and add something to it, because he wrote it. It wasn't like, and I personally, this is my view, part of the reason why Jeff Johns was so resistant is I think he was surprised at how well Affleck could write this. Because he's used to being the comic book guy in the room. He's used to being the guy that is leading the writers by the noses to help them to understand how this works. And to actually have someone that knows probably as much as he does, at least about this one character, is also a bone of contention.
Yep. Yeah. He felt threatened by him. That guy, look, you and I both know that he's a Kevin Feige wannabe, and he's not at the level of Kevin Feige. He can wish as much as he wants to, but what's that old axiom? Wish in one hand, shit in the other, see which one gets filled up first.
Yes.
That's what he needs to be told. because
Yeah.
he'll never be Kevin Feige. It's never going to happen. And the best thing that can happen to DC at this point is if they, and I'm sorry, I'm sure there are a lot of people that like the CWDC stuff. Berlanti needs to be fired, and so does Jeff Johns. They fired him one time. How he came back, I don't know. That's ridiculous.
Well, he left in order to form his own company, so that he's an independent person and not having to really.
Because they're terrible. They are terrible showrunners. They're terrible at planning, and like I joked earlier, they are the Alex Kurtzman, Akiva Goldsman of the DC verse. And
that's a whole other episode that we can do, but I think that about wraps it for this.
Yeah, wraps it up, and I want to point out there again, if you guys haven't seen it, the link will be down below for Andre's new assessment, the video that we're actually talking about, this one here.
Good job, Andre.
Andre, love your videos, man. I love Tom's and Rob's too, but
you guys rock.
Andre's my guy, man. Andre's my guy. I don't know what, maybe it's his sexy accent. I don't know. Anyway, man, go watch this video. I'll put the link down below. And with that, this is Pop Culture Minefield, and we're out of here. Get off the lawn.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please remember to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Remember, you can find us at Pop Culture Minefield on both Facebook and Instagram. Thank you again.